Faith Kipyegon versus the sub-4 minute mile. Can she do it? We're about to find out. They're about to welcome her out into the stadium here in Paris, France. I was personally expecting to see more people in the crowd. They got plenty of empty rows of seats. I'm not sure if there were just special bleachers brought out for this one occasion. It was a free spectator entry, so that's probably the premise of that. But either way, I was expecting there to be a few more people than I'm currently seeing. Either way, great atmosphere, great setup, great conditions as the pre-race commentator team was talking about. And there is Faith, the GOAT. No matter what happens today, guys, you've got to understand that she is going to be the GOAT at today's end. She's got 7 global gold medals, 14:05 5,000 meters, one of the fastest in world history, and of course the 1,500 and mile world records, 3:49.04 and 4:07.64, the latter of which she is aiming to shave over 7.5 seconds off of today, which personally I think is a bit of a tall ask. Not just considering the fact that she has to shave seconds off of that, 7 seconds off of that, but en route to that, shave around 6 seconds, if not more, off of her 1,500 meter world record, a distance that is much more commonly run. Now, this is an engineered race, right? She's got that speed suit that has been engineered by scientists. I literally watched a hour-long podcast, shout out Marathon Handbook, for the whole idea of constructing this breaking 4 attempt with a lot of similar premises that they used to Eliud Kipchoge's breaking 2 in 2017, the first attempt at the sub 2 hour marathon back in the mid 2010s. So there's a lot of parallels. Eliud's in the building. That's so great to see. But yeah, it's all about Faith to prove me wrong, because ultimately I think this is just a little bit too far gone. I feel like sub 4 as a concept is a little bit more of a convenient number rather than an outright possibility. It is possible. It certainly is possible. And if it is possible for anybody, it is possible for Faith Kipyegon. And that is what I'm trying to emphasize here. But at the end of the day, even if she runs something like a 4:05, that is still going to be a phenomenal achievement for women, for Faith, and for this challenge. Is it the goal of this challenge? No. The goal of this challenge is quite literally in its name, breaking 4. And with a whole host of pace setters, some of Team Nike's finest, we are about to see if Faith Kipyegon can get it done. Let's go. My gosh, look at all those pace setters. You got Craig Engels, Grant Fisher. There we go. Faith Kipyegon is underway. She's got pacers on every side of her. Cooper Tears right there to her right. He's actually behind her. Engels is up there on her right. They're all branching out. Let's see this first 100. Right around 14:14 for the raw 100. Okay, so they're really getting that adrenaline out of the system. And the big thing with Faith, right, she hasn't had a whole ton of racing. It's all been structuring for this moment. We saw that 1,000 in the earlier stages of the season where she barely got under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And that might have raised a few eyebrows because she needs to do that for an additional 609 meters, but she's looking very comfortable and strong in the brand new spikes, the armbands, the speed suits. All right, let's see. 300 might have slipped off a little bit because that first 200 was right around 30 flat. It's probably going to be outside of 60 seconds for this first lap. That's just the way it is. Grant Fisher directly ahead of her. You can see the crowd really trying to get involved. Okay. 60.4 for the first lap. Faith was probably right around 61. They got the wave lights too. They've literally got all the stops pulled out for this mile world record. Unofficial world record attempt, of course, as this will not go certified on World Athletics. But she's got 6 men in front of her and around 7 or 8 men and women behind her. So let's see. Just watching the splits, really, that's what this becomes, is just how much longer can she maintain this pace. She lost a little bit of contact with Grant Fisher, and now you see Cooper Tear moving up on her outside, Stewie McSwain behind her. They've got to help her out as much as they can because this is quite close to, again, as those scientists were saying in the podcast I watched earlier today, the VO2 max. That she would need to run around 110% of that, whatever that means. Simply put, inhuman levels of pacing. All right. Here we come to 800. just a smidge off of pace. They needed 2 flat 63, 2 flat 75. Just going off the graphics comparison. Either way, she has had just about as good of a start as she could ask for. She can close races that are at championship world record levels of pace in 56-second last laps. So she needs to find all of that speed that she has. It's real tough for Grant Fisher. He's just hoping that she'll stick with him and now almost waiting for her to catch up. There she is, back on him, really just trying to dig in. This is still very much within reach. McSwain now moving up onto the shoulder. Tears moved ahead, it looks like. And here we go. 500 meters left. Kipyegon's falling off the lead pacers. Dare I say this was the inevitable, right? This is crazy what she is attempting. And with 1 lap to go, she is right around 301 high, 302. My prediction was 402. Let's see her close it out. This may not be the sub 4 that she was hoping and dreaming for, but whatever she is about to show us is simply unseen. Like I said before, she is going to be the GOAT no matter where she finishes, no matter who finishes with her, ahead of her or behind her. Now she's really starting to work hard. I think sub 4 is out the window right now. She's got to close in around a 27 for the last 200. That's unfortunately not going to happen. 3:32.85. She is going to run the fastest mile we've ever seen out of a woman, bottom line. And she deserves all of our respect for that. Let's see what she can get. Faith Kipyegon into the home straightaway. The crowd's putting their hands together for her. Either way, this is a great setup. And it was a fun job to see it get done. It won't be sub 4. But it'll be the fastest mile ever. 4:06.91. Just think of the challenge, right? 4 minutes flat for a woman who has run 5 seconds faster than any other woman in history over the distance. Like I said before, she would have had to break a conventional distance world record, which I'm very curious to see the en route split for 1500 because it looked like she was well below 350 there. And she's still happy about her effort. It won't be an official world record, but that's an accomplishment. Who says they won't try again someday? Because again, watching that podcast with Marathon Handbook earlier, they talked about a lot of the things that they learned about the setup for the first attempt at Eliud Kipchoge's sub-2 marathon versus the Ineos 159 challenge, which was ultimately successful. I remember I stayed up all night to watch that. Will this ever be attempted again by a woman? Faith Kipyegon is in her early 30s. She certainly has shown us with a 4:06 that she has plenty of racing and run left in her. But I'm curious to see if they will make adaptations here. They obviously spent a lot of time, a lot of energy and money, resources on developing that speed kit, those speed shoes for this attempt. At the end of the day, 4 minutes is just a number. And it's still out there to be broken and to be proven that it is more. I think that's a good place to leave it for today's challenge. I'm proud of Faith for showing up to the line because I think almost any other woman, just at the thought of running 2 minutes per 800 for double that distance and change. I mean, we saw how close she was to 2:30 in her season opening 1,000. That's just such an intimidating task to put your body to go ahead and spend all of these months preparing for. The official time, there it is, 4:06.42. To do that is an accomplishment. No matter how many times I've repeated myself, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video. It feels good to get back in that saddle. I've got a new episode of In Full Stride coming where me and my guest to be revealed did some hindsight predictions for this record attempt. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Again, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.